Hello, hello. Welcome to Go Mode Podcast, Glitch Mentor Tournament, Week 3 overall glitches. This is PH versus WindFox, and their mentors are Orange and Flipheel. This is a live restream, so a little unusual for the last few weeks. We actually get to catch them in the act of playing this game, and we will be starting really soon. I'm joined by Professor Renderer. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I have been a little bit busy so I haven't exactly been able to do a lot of mentoring, but I've been meaning to try and get back into it, so yeah.
Alright. 2 different starts. Sanctuary and Link's house. And very unusual, WindFox is going to the uncle first, which is not something we see very often in glitch modes. You can almost think of it as an anti-meta play. You know your opponents might be putting this off.
Yeah, typically you wait until a little bit later on to do the uncle play, but you're actually doing something completely different. So one of the main differences with this week is that we do not have a starting sword, unlike the past 2 weeks where we actually had an assured sword.
Yeah, the start sword it has a couple things going on. You have the boots from the start, so it's really easy to get complacent and dash through enemies in the first 2 weeks, and then in the 3rd week you have no sword, so you start running into things and getting hit places you're not expecting to. But the sword is also used for the glitches themselves, not necessarily to make them possible, but just to make them a little more easy.
Right, yeah, and this is one of the things where it's very important for our runners to get a good grip on using your punches as a way to buffer your inputs.
Yeah, when you do the teleport glitch, you have to get a clean diagonal, and normally, since your sword's already out, you naturally get one just by holding it while the sword is spinning, but now you have to actually do something to buffer it, which normally would just be pressing B, but it's not nearly as many frames as a spin. But the other thing we don't have access to is spin speed, which gives us spin speed clips. Spin speed clips can pretty much universally be replaced by just boots clipping over and over again, but it's harder to do that, especially if you just learn how to do the clips in the first place.
PH in doing the lumberjack DMA, which is personally one of my favorite modes and my favorite methods of lumberjack. One of my favorite DMA methods for more advanced glitch modes.
PH finding out this is another little gotcha of not having a sword. You can't hit the switches in Hera until you've actually found something to hit them with. Like those bombs up there that he just dropped down too soon and wasn't able to get.
Yeah, my hunch is that perhaps PH may have been a little bit scared of the dead rock.
I think I saw him walk in and look like he was about to go into basement cage. That was definitely a, oh, oops, I actually can't do this yet move. So deciding the early mountain play is not nearly as appealing when you don't have the sword. It's really easy to just get hit. I don't think PH has... Okay, he's gone into rescue the old man now. For some reason, watching WindFox and Kakariko and thought PH was there too. And I'm like, no, there's no dark rooms in Kak. But he has to survive this part with the dead rocks. He has no way to defend himself if they get in the way, except to just wait and hope he doesn't get hit.
Yeah, with the RNG being truly random when it starts and stops.
Yeah, that's an oof. WindFox will have a lamp at least, but the lamp doesn't help you against dead rocks.
Right, and you do, at least for PH, PH will have the checkpoints in case he were to die again.
WindFox showing us the hazards of going to Kakariko too early, which is you don't have bombs and money from the start of the game. You have to get them somewhere. Nice that he has some magic, though, that you can use the powder and check magic that while he's here. ph,
right,
so ph is doing something that's... This is something just learned how to do this without a sword, but is learning that you can't actually dash buffer if the A press is going to grab the wall instead of dash. Same reason you can't arm spin speed that way either. But yeah, he wasn't able to actually get dash buffers facing down because of the wall. I wouldn't go for Graveyard Ledge as an opener until you're very comfortable with the swordless version. There's a lot of better things you can do, and you can hope that you find a sword, or at least more health.
Yeah, with it being really early on, I understand the play. It's just that it may have been just kind of asking a little bit too much for them to do it, but no worries though. It's just all about the learning process. A part of the learning process, that is. Oh, we're seeing Flip Hill go. Sorry, WindFox. Jeez, WindFox is gonna do a fun little clip there.
WindFox is too deep. I think this is kind of my fault. I taught people to use a sword cue here. Anybody who learned that way is gonna have a little bit of trouble without the sword. When I do it without a sword, I just imagine where the sword would be.
I just have a shadow cue, personally.
WindFox is like getting in and then getting too far. Doesn't quite know how far. There we go. It's actually like shallower than you think. And when you don't have flippers, you at least have the safety of splashing out, which is why people like doing this early, if they can.
Yeah, I typically have a shadow cue instead of a sword cue.
Yeah, apparently shadow cue is the way to do it. So people in chat are saying that there's a shadow cue that's actually pretty good and reliable. It's the one thing you almost always have. I say almost, because there are definitely times when you find yourself without a shadow in this mode.
Pain of Bruno was picked up from Matt's play.
That was at the hobo?
That was the Magic Bat.
Magic Bat. Oh gosh, I'm once again confusing which runner I just saw do the hobo. That was PH, who apparently has found Quake somewhere.
Perhaps. I think that was from the hobo, but again, I was more focused on WindFox.
There is a boomerang in the library, and you'd be amazed how good a boomerang is when you don't have a sword. Just being able to hit things without consuming ammo is actually really nice. WindFox apparently has not mastered the Maze Race clip yet, so it has to do it legit.
Yeah, it's understandable because you do run the risk of a soft lock if you don't get the exact inputs correct.
It's it's like a low priority play. You want to learn it just because it's fast, but you're not prevented from getting the item if you don't know it. And if you only halfway know it, you have a chance of messing up and ending your route here. We'll see if PH goes for it or not.
Right, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Alright, let's see if... this will be our first teleport for WindFox, who has released an imaginary spin and not buffered the diagonal. So we'll have to adapt. Some people will bring up the menu and buffer out of that until they learn how to punch buffer.
Yeah, we did see from PH the punch buffer when doing the Lumberjack DMA, so that's something that come into play here, and it's like WindFox is...
Yeah, WindFox got the menu buffer but was on the wrong pixel. I think he's going for a down teleport when he should be going for an up teleport. It's a little confusing because Dark World is different. In Dark World, they actually do use a down teleport, and it's not even on the same bump.
Yeah, it's that third bump, which is the typical third bump down teleport that we know about.
Yeah, but this collision is weird. It's nothing typical. Oh, PH, get the boomerang. I disagree. I think you should get that. Wow, he's just going for the item blind. That's bold. That's like a no glitches randomizer play. Like people who plays Key Sanity will say, oh, you just always get it because it's probably a key. A PH not quite beating WindFox to the clip.
I mean, PH will get this ether, so it's a somewhat of a reward if you like. If it's just a seldom award.
PH is completely on the wrong slope here. Okay, so Orange is redirecting him. Yeah, remember that this is a mentor tournament, so, you know, when you get stuck like this, you can get help from your mentor specifically. He can even pull up the practice hack and show you where to go. But PH gets it once he knows where to go. Gets the punch buffer as well. And is almost caught up to WindFox, who has, as far as I can tell, not been anywhere except Kakariko. But PH has been to Hobo and Mountain already. Rescued the old man. And peeked to the Spectacle Rock item.
Yeah, I can tell that PH does seem confident in using the punch buffer, which honestly isn't that like tough to get down. It's if you as soon as you like press the A button or B button, just hold it that direction.
It's a different timing, and if you don't have the muscle memory for it, it's easy to just forget to do it. I mean, yeah, even I do it. Like sometimes I'll just forget I don't have a sword, and you know, sometimes I'll get lucky and accidentally get a clean diagonal. Most of the time, I just pop out of the wall.
Right. It's something that it's with me. I can at least know the difference between I have a bomb, or I don't have, or I have a sword, or no, I don't have a sword. At least like my muscle memory adapts to it.
WindFox is gonna have a faster time in this Popo room. Wait a minute. Oh, we've already been there. WindFox has had a faster time in this Popo room, so fast that I didn't even notice it happened. Already gone back and checked the big chest. And the typical overworld glitches route of doing Cave 45 and then Agina's Cave, because Agina's Cave is slower to exit. But those are the only things they can do here. There's a few things that they're orphaning. They're orphaning land molas, the shovel, the Bombos tablet, and checkerboard cave. But I have heard it said that orphans love company, and, you know, orphaning 3 items isn't really orphaning, is it? Because you can just come back and do all 3 together.
Right. WindFox, it looked like the first attempt trying to get to over to depth Cave 45. May not realize that originally that oh yeah, this is a dumb jump, not a any clips or anything.
I'm not sure if that's what was happening. It really looked like WindFox might be using a 2-handed grip to do that clip. It's hard to actually get like fast clips with both hands and have the buffers be clean.
I was referring to the like the menu buffer.
Oh, was there a menu buffer?
Yeah, it was a menu buffer originally when it would have been a dumb jump. Which that's something that with time will that will be with time that gets, it's like, oh yeah, this is a spot where you can just dumb jump instead of just anything else.
PH is really not a good spot to be in. Okay, PH, please. Oh no.
Oh.
PH, no,
yikes.
Never transition there. Okay, so that's all the progress lost, except actually not really, because I think PH death warped in Desert. I think we're actually fine. I definitely saw one of them death warp.
There was a death warp from PH, yes.
Thank you. I like to hear that. Don't forget to route in save and quits and death warps for safety in these modes. Yeah, the long reset. I wonder if he's on MSU. On console, sometimes that makes the reset longer.
Yeah, that is something that does happen whenever you're on when you're on an SD to SNES, or an FX Pack Pro.
So
or
PH
whatever.
actually lost nothing material in that, but he did lose the chance to check Cave 45 in Agina's Cave. But that's fine because Orphans love company, and he will have more incentive to return there with the other items. WindFox is just covering the tracks of PH here, checking Hobo.
Yeah, which I find interesting because interesting is that PH ended up going into the complete console reset and just went to the SD to SNES menu.
Yeah, that's something that is just default. It's like a setting that some people have. And if you want to hard reset without quitting the menu, you actually have to set it that way to allow it. In fact, I think it was PH who I saw. Somebody else asked him, why are you quitting the menu? And he said it was set that way. So resets are a little more costly. Unfortunately for PH, he is losing time by returning to these checks. But I can't blame him considering the quality of the checks available to him on 3 hearts, green mail, and no weapon. I still think he should have picked up that boomerang. He also apparently didn't do magic bad. I wonder if he didn't have any magic. Oh yeah, PH has to turn like 180 degrees just to read chat. It wouldn't surprise me if he has to like do a handstand to reset his console.
Yeah, for me, my Super NT is just like 90 degrees from my actual rig, so it's not too far away, and it's also right next. It's also just right next to my TV.
I'm not quite sure where WindFox got hearts that PH doesn't have. What did WindFox do? It must have been the uncle, right? The thing that WindFox did at the very beginning. We didn't really comment on, except for that it's unusual, but we didn't really talk about what he found there. But 5 hearts is significantly more than 3 when you're here, where everything's doing 1 or 2 hearts of damage. You have to be pretty confident with your bomb throws. At least WindFox has the option of Cane and Burna, but PH has to nail his bomb throws here. It's not too bad as long as you hold the bomb long enough that you can throw and be certain that the Moldorms won't like be on the other side of the room by the time it goes off.
Yeah, cooking the bomb is a viable strategy for many Moldorms. Just in general, this isn't relating to glitch modes at all. Just in general, Zelda 3 play.
Both of them are on tantalizingly close rupees for Zora, but not quite enough. Unless they find some in the chest. But there aren't that many chests left. There's only 3 before Zora. $20 rupees, not quite enough. They need 50. PH needs even more.
And with no glove, this makes it not. It's a little bit tricky to get more rupees because you can't get the 20 rupee.
Oh no, we're doing stun prizes now. It's arrows. Yeah, if they had a sword, they would have graveyard clipped into Houlihan, but they don't trust themselves on that or have already attempted it in one case. So, I can't blame them. Oh look, there's just 300 rupees here. Okay. Glad you farmed.
Well, there you go. That'll solve it.
Classic. What? Careful.
That would have been
almost
bad
got
if
hit.
we got hit. Yeah, that would have been bad if WindFox got hit there.
Yeah, we don't have that protection of dying on hit anymore. Now you have to like wait for the long scroll and oh my goodness, it's a Moon Pearl. Both of them will get bailed out by this money too. It was possible to open with this and miss Zora entirely and have to route it in later. Which if you're comfortable doing that, you know, as long as you have a plan. Usually that plan is jump off of Death Mountain. You're fine, but wow, WindFox is going back to the escape. Going for a Burna play. This is the most escape I have seen from a single runner in 20 minutes.
Yeah, that, again, it's just something that you normally see this early on. Usually, what I usually do is whenever I play Overworld glitches is wait for the hour rule.
So I think WindFox has a lot of rando experience. I don't know him that well, but I think he's one of the people who plays League and just does all kinds of modes, entrance, and so on. PH is a little bit more speedrun experience, more NMG, but he has lately picked up the All Dungeons RMG speedrun, which is the rule set that they will be using for the next phase of the tournament.
Yeah, and I will fill in some extra dots here. Is that WindFox very, very recently had made it to the League conference final. Oh, yes.
Thank you. Thanks, PH. I love seeing a land bridge sign read. We're still waiting on that update that puts Chex Human on it. The No Logic tournament victory.
Yeah. I will say that then to kind of add on to continue what I was my thought here was that very recently, WindFox, along with Mr. Scott Pinch and Tabby Cat 54, had made it to the conference finals of the Open League. So
nice.
They're going to be in the Invite League coming into Season 6.
GG's. I was right about WindFox being a League player. That's where I've heard the name. PH is in a bit of a bind here. I think he's going to have to play with bombs to get this Moldorm out of his way. But even if he gets it to Spiral Cave, getting out of Spiral Cave is not too easy. You almost always take a hit from something here, and that shield's not going to protect him from what's down here in this pit of death.
Yeah, it's always so precarious because you have the RNG of the mini Moldorms that can really mess you up.
If only he had
these dead rocks don't help too.
If only he had a way to defend himself against dead rocks. Like that thing he left on the library.
That's so close.
Alright, he made it. You get 2 hearts in the first bomb wall here, so you're usually safe in the next room, but not always. Also, it's possible to just run into your own bomb if you're not being careful.
Yeah.
Half magic, and the only thing you can do with it is powder and lamp.
Yeah, you don't have... PH doesn't have the Burna. So, yeah.
Just a whole lot of green money here. Just needs to make it to these last... That is a lot of money in one place. And a bottle. Well, that's inconvenient. But for PH, at least he can check Magic Bat. He hasn't done that yet. WindFox has.
It seems like PH wants to wait a little bit further until you get to the Dark World. Until they can get some Dark World.
So, WindFox did the escape and found just a book, which doesn't do anything until you have swords. Really everyone's just delaying Dark World because it's dangerous. And there's not a whole lot you can do there except check Overworld and dip dungeons.
Yeah, and that makes sense. You want to play a bit safe and you don't have a whole lot of anything to work with.
There's a lot that goes into like metagaming a tournament game, you know, insofar as you care about winning in a mentor tournament. But in glitch modes, you have a little more flexibility in what to do. So it's not just about like where can the items be, but also about how do I play to my strengths. And if your strengths are doing low percent light worlds because you play a lot of cross keys, or doing, you know, doing Saucer's Closet and just finding a hammer and sword, cool. You know, do that. Because you're probably going to be better off taking that hammer and sword into Thieves Town than diving Thieves Town with absolutely nothing in your hand.
Yeah, and that means if you're playing the boots opener with a Saha opener, then you're eating good.
The WindFox hasn't done the mountain yet. But if he wants to do any Dark World, he's going to have to start here. So this is the next logical play. And I don't mean logical as in logic, I just mean the sensible thing to do.
Yeah, a reasonable play.
WindFox is in a bit of a situation here. It looks maybe okay? Wow, okay. Who's the... there were like 3 times there that I thought he was going to hardlock. And he didn't.
I'm surprised that even worked.
PH is doing a bomb escape. It's never fun. Unless you're one of those people who practices bomb escape.
Me. I will always preach for Bomb Star because you at least get the back of escape when you're playing in standard.
That's what Boot Start is for.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you're standard random swords, that's what I mean.
Nobody plays standard randomized swords.
The dailies do. when it's on the schedule.
Who's making the schedule? I think it's you.
It's a combination of people.
Alright. PH setting up a death warp. I think he has found both the key and the map, so he knows that back of escape can be accessible and is all for them being items. So that was a sentence. WindFox, I didn't even think about this. Nobody's actually entered Hera yet, because last time we saw somebody in there, they didn't have a way to hit the switch. The overall glitches is like the last mode to give you access to top of Hera from the bottom floor every time. So enjoy it while it lasts, because next week we might be seeing Hera basement just not even be a key, but like the key is just upstairs somewhere, and you're supposed to come in from Meyer.
Oh, the beauties of HMG.
But it also means you're not doing as many of these like fighter sword moldorms. WindFox seems to just be doing like a YOLO pixel setup for this bomb jump, and it does not pay off for him. He's actually kind of stuck here, which is pretty bad. He has to take a death warp. It's going to be a hefty time loss.
Yeah, I think if WindFox had like a red boomerang or something, then that would have worked just fine to get him out.
Yeah, I think it depends a little bit on your camera, whether you can use certain projectiles to get out. I think rods typically work. That is a very unfortunate beetle hit for WindFox. So let's see what PH does from here, because he can just go straight into the Dark World, but he can also do what WindFox did and clean up Light World a little bit, hoping for a weapon. He might just be taking some advice from Orange while he sits in the save and quit menu.
Yeah, just having your mentor kind of figure out what you want to do, just and then just go from there is a very reasonable decision to make, just in a mentor environment.
Yeah, and just because the hammer and sword were in Saucer's Closet doesn't mean that PH won't find something else in the Dark World.
With that hammer, once WindFox finishes up Hera, we might be in a sweet. We could see WindFox go to GT and to do left side.
Left side GT is kind of a... It's kind of a bold play when you don't have hook shot. And this seed looks like you do need it, because Swamp is a crystal. Mire, Pod, and Tiara are pendants.
Yeah.
Which means Samaria might be avoidable.
Yeah, so WindFox did check that. Check the green pendant through Saha. So he knows about the Turtle Rock green pendant.
I have not been counting items for WindFox. I didn't even notice the first floor of here at all. But we finished on a key and found a map, so there's probably an item in the basement.
Did we see a compass?
I see on his tracker a 1 on the item counter, so I'm going to assume that there's an item inside. Oh, he's just going to get it. I respect it.
Yeah, hey, if you want to be risk adverse, you could go there. You go and do that.
pH is in east of mountain in the dark world, but he's gonna clip into back of Hookshot Cave, either just to get 1 check or to go for the hovers. We'll see which one he pulls out. Looks like he has to count bumps too, probably being told live how to do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4th bump.
Yeah, and then
that's too low. Yeah, it's too low. You have to be on like the kind of high end of the 4th bump. Once you're here, there isn't really a whole lot you can do unless you have mirror.
Yeah, the way it is that what I look for is a light pixel on that 4th bump. If it's visible with my palette shuffles.
I wouldn't go for that anyway. Like Hookshot Cave for 1 item, unless you're really confident with hovers. I would wait for a glove to do that. But pH's options aren't very good. pH is showing us the hero clip that we encourage people to learn when they get their sword taken away. He's too high, but if you start this a little lower, it's quite a bit easier than going from the other direction. You're doing like half as many buffers to get through. And the positioning is extremely lenient. If you're too high, you'll just kind of get stopped. If you're too low, you have to be really low to be too low.
And even then, it's still pretty lenient. So, well, even then, it's like you would be near like the upper half of that diagonal anyway. So there really isn't any reason to be like that low.
pH has 1 bomb. God, poor pH. He just can't do anything. He has no items that do anything.
Yeah, and this is where that Saha play that WindFox came out just through no glitches play comes to play the game.
Oh, pH, you're not doing it again, are you? I mean, if I was just desperate for items, I'd start hitting density, and Hype Cave would probably be the first I'd go to if I was going to do something in the Dark World.
Yeah, it is a rather odd play to make, just to head back to retry the Hookshot Cave.
pH does hover though. We're getting confirmation from chat that this is a higher density play than it would be if you couldn't hover. But the question is, can he clip? That looks like a good pixel.
That seems to be the right spot.
Yeah, you can be there. You can be like 1 or 2 higher than that.
Yeah,
there we go.
That looks good.
Dash turned down.
It looks like this is just
there we go.
Yeah.
Looks like he's never done this before. So he's learning it on the fly, which I love to see.
Yeah. Yeah, it's that. I was gonna comment. Yeah, this seemed like Orange was just telling pH how to make this work.
If you're not learning glitches on the fly in the middle of a race, why are you even in a mentor tournament?
I mean, I mean, me and you, we did something similar when I was playing last time we did a mentor tournament.
PH doesn't have enough bombs to do this. You need 2.
Oh.
If you really wanted to, you could drop down and buy bombs from the shop and then go back up. He seems to be pretty committed to this, but he's just so frustrated. It's so sad.
I can't blame him, really. You've gone this far to do it, and then you don't have the bombs necessary to do it.
And now he's asking, how do I do this without spin speed? You start by not facing down. Gotta face up. There we go. It's almost like I'm telling him myself. The orange is telling him the exact same thing. Otherwise, it's identical to the spin speed clip. You just have to hold down, or hold down left. There we go. WindFox boldly opening the front door of Pendant Turtle Rock. The one dungeon he actually knows is a pendant. And doesn't have the cane for, but it's thinking ahead.
Yeah, this might be a decision to just have it on the in the back of his mind, just in case he wants to go to the front when you have Samaria.
PH is having an existential crisis, or a discussion with his mentor about whether to go into pod or not. Decides not to because pod sucks. Oh no. Every time he saves and quits to mountain, I get sad.
The paranoia that I have when seeing PH save and quit while in midair.
Yeah, you can't RMG in the overworld.
That's good.
Overworld doesn't have real layers.
That's good. Okay, at least my paranoia is at least avoided. I've been so paranoid all these years, and it's like,
So if I'm not mistaken, WindFox is not doing Hookshot Cave at all. Which, if he doesn't hover, makes total sense. It's slow. Really slow to do it that way for just one check. PH is probably just going to do a standard Dark Bolt clear from here. Since he, still doesn't have bombs for Hookshot Cave. I can't imagine him wanting to go back in. This is not... Yeah, this is interesting because I think people don't necessarily know how to do this without spin speed. It's actually the same. But there's also an easier way you can do where you clip in at the top and just hold down. But I don't think very many people know that method. WindFox is doing something I've never seen before. Fake flipper up here from Catfish. This is South Dark World.
This is bold and very bold and dangerous.
What's it for though? Huh? Oh, you can clip around. Okay, so he probably just doesn't know how to clip around the white stone. Or clip directly to pod, depending on what he's trying to do. Although he's probably going to go to pyramid first. But the fake flipper there was a very creative solution that I wouldn't have thought of.
It's bold, but also very, very dangerous because if you get hit, then because you have the two Zoras there, and if you get hit during that, then you obviously just get you have to wait long enough, pretty long, I guess, and you get.
Speaking of very dangerous, WindFox almost ran into a Snapdragon, and we're picking up on a new glitch for WindFox. This is going to be a Pyramid Fairy clip. Nope, not going for Pyramid Fairy. He's just going to go for Hammer Pegs or Hype Cave. There's two places you can go from here. Looks like we're going for Hammer Pegs. Now, unless he knows swim clipping, he's not going to be able to get out of here.
PH gets flippers from C-Shape House.
Alright. Flippers are, required, but they're not really what PH needs immediately. PH needs something in his hand that can damage enemies.
Yeah, and this is, again, something that it's again that whole thing where WindFox did do Sahasrara pretty early on, and PH hasn't been there.
Yeah, it wasn't even that early. Like, they both did the entire light world. And Sahasrala's Closet was the only thing that had a melee weapon in it.
Well, you kind of knew what I meant.
Yeah, but it's like some people open with it. This was kind of a last call, like before Dark World, like, I'll do it.
Right, yeah.
I wouldn't consider that early at all.
That's what I meant. I was like, it's a move that was done just before you, like, lapse.
PH in Thieves Town with no weapon for blind. Probably not going to go all the way to the back. But you can't just Death Warp out either, unless his plan is to check Sick Kid and turn into powder. If you Death Warp out of here, you get put in the fake Dark World, which will keep you in the Dark World screen, but won't keep you in the Dark World, so next time you transition, you'll be in the Light World. But it looks like he got bailed out by a sword in the third chest of Thieves Town. Meanwhile, WindFox is clearing up some last Sphere 1 locations. Other than Eastern, this might actually be the last Sphere 1 for him. Just bombs in Kingston, though. So it's nice to see PH get something for his troubles here. A little sad to see him going in here without a hammer, but we haven't seen the small key yet, so hammer might not matter. It's funny to see people just suddenly speed up when they get their sword, like, oh, I'm going to just play the game now. It's like people getting the boots and no glitches.
Yeah, it's a little amusing that just when you have the sword, I was like, okay, now we can play the game as intended.
I think WindFox actually intended to jump off the mountain, but didn't fix his camera. And you can't jump off the mountain if you don't fix your camera, unless you want to jump off 8 times and land on the bottom of the screen, which, honestly, if I was in that situation, I would probably just ad-lib that. Either that or GT. But opted to continue with the original intention, which was to fix the camera at Hera and then go off the mountain.
Yeah, that's one way. The super jumps is fun. Whenever a super jump comes in, it's just like, oh, okay, this is a move. Are we gonna just go to Hype Cave from the super jump, or what?
Usually that's what you're doing. This is not the slope, though.
Right, yeah. I mean,
WindFox. WindFox. This is the super jump slope, but you're not in the right... Yeah, you... Okay, hopefully Flip Heel's doing the same thing, telling him where to go. It looks like WindFox doesn't have quite the confidence in the clipping as PH does, but has gotten a little bit luckier in items. But PH now with the sword is a pretty significant advantage just from currently being in a dungeon, making progress. WindFox is just now making it to that dungeon. But on the other hand, WindFox has done Hera, so they're not behind, per se.
No, it's more so... WindFox is kind of slow to the clips, whereas PH is confident with the clips, but is just behind.
Yeah, well, PH is confident, but also run into some troubles with Hookshot Cave. That one was related to not knowing the clip, and one of them being related to not understanding that you need 2 bombs, which is something everybody forgets. It's not usually on the forefront of your mind, that you'll just be out of bombs and not be able to go all the way through. It looks like PH also didn't have to worry about the Thieves Town big chest, because it was just a key. Which means blind is hammer locked. It doesn't matter, blind is a map. Alright, WindFox, are you gonna one and done? No. The first chest you open is an item. You could save so much time just walking out and never coming back until you have the fire rod. There's a really good chance the second item is just on Moth. So it's pretty safe. As long as the fire rod isn't also in the front, which is extraordinarily rare, you're probably fine.
PH will do a dig gameplay
PH is just doing a standard north to south dark world. Which in this case, normally it takes you to Meyer. I think Orange is telling him to go to Meyer. Resetting the timer though, so he doesn't get interrupted during the clip. If you're fast enough at your clips, you can just race the guy and try and get your clip done before he times out, but if you're not confident and he like times you out in the middle of your clip, that's okay. Just save and quit. Thankfully with that map wrap, you can't actually move, so you're protected from hard locking.
That's always been what I wanted to know about that map wrap, because
it's not useful. I've tried it.
Yeah.
I mean, where are you going from there? Like, it's a maze. It's impossible to just navigate to pod without touching directions you're not supposed to touch.
Right, and it's...
WindFox is proving me right. Nothing in the front of Skull except for that mushroom. I think the item is actually definitely unmoth given the number of keys we have. But of course it could have been like big chest and Moth had the map, so you couldn't really know until you did that.
So, as PH also finishes up Hera, what does he really do now?
What does he do? Well, he could go to Hype Cave. He never made it that far down. If I was him, I would start at Hype Cave. Just because getting to Meyer area with his current equipment isn't very easy. I suppose you could do is you could clip to Meyer from like the bottom of the world, like near Swamp, and then go up and do Meyer Shed and do Stumpy and continue that route into Hammer Pigs. PH has this NMG Moldorm experience to thank for getting this fight done pretty handily. Gets his second crystal, so now he has one up on crystals over WindFox, who is just now getting his second sword, which is one more than what PH has.
Right, and that'll be a nice offense increase.
It is. It's also the tablets. So if they haven't checked tablets yet, now would be the time. PH also playing for Hera Basement. Probably just doesn't feel like his other options are that good. So might as well do the things that are nearby.
And that makes some sense. Just kind of waiting it out until the time's right.
What does the hammer do for you, routing-wise? If you're WindFox, do you do anything different than what PH would do? Do you start going to GT and sequence breaking the hammerlock side? Or do you just continue on the standard hammerless route?
I think you still go to hype, so you do take the hammerless routes.
Yeah, but it's after hype. I mean, of course, PH got interrupted, but WindFox will just land at hype cave and have to make a decision. Hopefully something will be there for them, giving them direction, but right now they don't really have a whole lot of that. Oh, PH. This is not enough distance for that bomb. I would just save and quit.
I wish that was enough distance. But But yeah, as when you said, when after you mentioned it's after hype, then I would then maybe GT.
It's hard because GT is out of logic, but it's the most density you can get.
Right. If you're confident with the bombs, well, no, you don't even need to worry about the bomb jump. You can just bunkle on and yeah.
ph is going to GT, but doesn't have the hammer. So ph is going to do the in-logic GT checks.
And that's only gonna give result in 3 items.
This makes sense though, because this is like the only thing you can do out of Hera. He got a bad pixel, so got this eat. Shoot, if you know what you're doing, which I don't, but I know it's possible, you can actually get to Pyramid that way. That would have been great for him. That's nobody actually does that. Like, that's extreme. That's like no moon pearl routing.
Yeah, I never. If I get yeeted like that, it's like, okay, no, we're just gonna save him quick. Because I worry I'm going to get soft locked or worse, hard lock.
Yeah, and ph has a dungeon done, so you wouldn't want a hard lock there. And he also, he death warps, will be fine.
Yeah, once again, the death warp's just saving ph from any bad hard lock.
And now he's really committed to this GT play. I think he's not clipping in all the way. You want to clip in until you can't anymore. That looks better. Oh no! Wrong direction. You have to tap left. Or right. You have to tap right to go left. Now he's actually like inside one of the tiers of Ganon's tower.
Yeah, so we'll see what if is ph. Oh, ph is still committing to this.
Well, he's going somewhere. It could just be a super jump. But WindFox is showing us some new checks now, which, interestingly enough, does not include Mire Shed.
Surprising.
Oh, there's a bow here.
Ooh.
So if ph can get back to this spot, the bow will lead him to Sorcerer's Closet. WindFox has to make a decision about whether he wants to do Pendant Pod or not. Because Pendant Pod is good density, but it's a pendant.
Yeah, ph is still committing to this GT play.
Alright. There we go. Please be something. After all that.
This has to pay out for ph.
The sword in Hype Cave is nice, but it's not really what they need.
It's more off. It's better damage, but that's it.
Yeah, I mean, WindFox has good items now. Like, being able to do Eastern is excellent. Being able to do Pendant Pod is not bad.
The only thing that ph got out of that was a bug net and blue mail, and that was it. There was no payout there.
WindFox ending the route. I wonder if his plan is to actually go into Mire. Maybe it isn't now, but at the time it might have been. And if you go into Mire, you can't leave very easily, because there's no mirror and there's no cane to actually complete the dungeon. So you would want to do this last, so you can save and quit. I think ph might be getting some super jump instruction from Orange. The super jump is the way to go. It's how you get back on track from that soft lock, which unfortunately was very costly to him, just for taking him off of the critical path. Yeah, wow, I was right. WindFox is going into Pendant Mire. Kingless Mire is almost better when it's a pendant than when it's a crystal. Because you could find both items and just get out, instead of having to worry about like orphaning a check or double dipping it. Alright, PH is now learning the super jump.
This is the one. This is a fun one to do. Like personally, it's always a fun sight to see. That's 4. Stopped. It's good. Now it has to go in the swamp to reset the camera, and we're through.
Into Godmire. Bit of a
Not
waste.
like it matters if it's not like it matters because it's a pendant.
I do hope PH actually goes to Stumpy. I think he will. The problem with starting at Hype Cave is you have to end at either Hammer Pigs or Stumpy. You can't really do both. I think the sword in here will matter a little bit more to PH than it does to WindFox, because it does give him access to the Bombos tablet, which, you know, it's another thing they could do is go into desert and clean up that last item on the boss and do Bombos tablet. But they're probably both waiting for a glove to make it a little bit more complete. There is an item for WindFox.
And that makes sense for to have that, just having a glove, you know, just to do some stuff with it.
So big key chest, given the way keys were laid out, the big chest is likely to be a small key. And I think there's a 50-50 chance that the other firelock chest is the item. Oh, you can't bonk there. It's unfortunate. It's almost safer to just walk. You can walk and make it, but you can't bonk and make it. PH is leaving. I wonder if he also goes in. Thinking about it.
I think
it's looking like it's the big chest, or the big key chest rather.
Yeah, this looked like to be a wait just so that from PH to make a decision on if he should go, which is probably like talking to Orange about it, and it looks like they will be going in.
This is really the only time to do it. If you're not doing it now, you're never doing it. I can see why you'd want to put this off to last, though. The lamp just makes it a chore.
Yeah, if you're not quick enough, you're gonna have you would have to go back into another room to do it, and you would waste another transition.
There it is. Death warping out. So what death warping accomplishes for WindFox is that fake Dark World I was talking about earlier. I think you haven't defeated Aghanim yet. The game tries to put you back in the light world when you die in the Dark World. And WindFox will take advantage of that by transitioning off screen and back on. And it'll actually be at Desert. Be able to do the Desert boss and the Bombos tablet in the same trip. Which is a neat little routing trick that they've pulled off. I wonder if PH will go for the same thing. He doesn't know the clip spot for Mire Escape. That's understandable. That's one of those locations where if you don't know what you're doing, you can hard lock. So it's a lot safer to do it up here. Alright, PH, you can save a little time by going down. Nah, play the odds. The odds are 50-50 of the items down there. I don't think it's actually 50-50. No, it is actually 50-50 because it can't be a key. So it has to be either the missing dungeon item or the item.
Now, this is interesting for WindFox because I don't know if you mentioned it, but because WindFox is in Fate Dark World, he might be might be telling him to lead into something within the Light World.
I think they're going to do Desert and Bombos Tablet. That's why WindFox is going for the south clipping spot, the speedruns Mire Escape, which PH actually knows. PH isn't going to go for it though. You might as well just like save and quit and do this, honestly. Not saving that much time. It is cooler though. Don't transition there. There's trees and them dar hills. Aw, look at this cursed Kakariko. Well, clipping up also lets you do Sick Kid. WindFox hasn't done. I don't think PH has either.
This is the first time we've seen a Sick Kid play, it looks like. So, yeah,
PH is... Did I miss a Graveyard Ledge or something? Because PH is in Mountain Palette in the Light World. Or is this just one of those, you saved and quit to the mountain because you weren't sure what to do and then you decided to go from Sync? But you were already on the mountain, so you might as well just clip down.
It's supposed to get a mushroom check, but that isn't it.
Yeah, and the mushroom check is just part of this loop, though, of going to Sahasrahla and Eastern, which will get PH the hammer, which does surprisingly little in this seed. Hammer is really just for ice and maybe GT. If WindFox wants to complete this route, he has to do Bombos Tablet first. This clip that WindFox is doing to get to Back of Desert is not precise. You just have to be somewhere on the top. But again, I'm pretty sure WindFox is one-hand clipping, or two-hand clipping. This just looks like two-hand clipping to me. And two-hand clipping is rather laborious. It's hard to get like 8 in a row without losing a buffer.
Yeah, and this is kind of where it's hard to really say, say which is the better grip or handle when you're doing clips. I've always stuck with the Taj clips grip because that's what I'm more comfortable with.
So yeah, people don't really know what those are. So the way you can do one-handed clips is usually you're using your right hand to clip, and most people are turning their controller 90 degrees to do it. Keyboardists can just coast because keyboard is amazing for clipping. It's terrible for spin speed though. So the keyboarders, which I don't know if there are any keyboarders in this tournament. Last year we had one, MM2 NES cartridge, but this one I don't think we have any. But the keyboard players, they can just mash buttons. It's great. You see keyboard a lot from people who play Super Metroid because Super Metroid is also amazing on keyboard.
Yeah, it's nice because especially if you have a decent keyboard that has a pretty nice end key rollover.
NMG Landmo, let's go. Not even using the Burna, just showing off his skills. I wonder if PH will do the same. They both have Tempered Sword. they're just showing off. It's good 4-cycle though.
Yeah, that was well fought from WindFox. little bit of fun little showing off of NMG strats.
So PH is the first person showing us Eastern. Oh, I thought he was going to save and quit. Don't do that. The Eastern is, I want to say, the last Sphere 1 check available to us as viewers. I think we've seen everything between the two runners. PH hasn't done King's Tomb. WindFox has to save and quit to get back to Bombo's tablet, which I guess is not that much slower than doing it first, considering how much work it is to get back up.
Right, and it really, I honestly would have just routed in Bombo's tablet first, then it.
So Flipeel is telling WindFox that you can clip from this side too, which is a little easier if you want to do a clip with fewer buffers. Which, if you're doing a two-handed grip, you do. But I think a lot of people don't know you can clip there because usually you're in the desert area when you're doing this. It's just it's nothing.
Yeah,
PH is already in like the way to the boss and also hasn't found anything in Eastern. So where is our progression? Is it pod? I think it's pod, but so what else is it gonna be? That's low-hanging fruit. Of course it's pod.
I think it would have to be pod.
WindFox is thinking the same thing. Go to Eastern, but do the witch first. Of course, there's nothing stopping it from being in, like, bonkable chest of GT. But we've really seen most things. It's not that much available that they haven't done already. I think the bonkable hookshot cave chest is still outstanding as well, which would be tragic for PH, because he tried very hard to get there.
Yeah, and that would probably feel really bad if there was something on the bonk chest of Hookshot Cave, just because PH did run out of bombs after getting it on the second attempt. Okay, we'll see what PH wants to do now.
Well, this doesn't... I guess this could be pod. How do you get to pod? I think you get there from catfish still. I don't think there's really a better way.
Yeah, catfish and then clip down, and make sure you don't go the wrong way.
Now, I don't believe PH has done pyramid, so you could have done like pyramid into pod, but getting to pyramid is also a chore. It's not like it's free. So I think he's going to do Hookshot Cave again. And then route that into Catfish Pod. At least he knows how to get out of that rock. He looks like he's done this before. Counting bumps. 1, 2, 3, 4. I declare a clip war. That is too low.
Yeah, that's very low.
Top of the 4th bump. Think that's fine?
That should look fine to me. It's right around the top of the 4th bomb. Yep, that was good.
So the question I have to ask is, who's feeling more behind right now?
I
would think it's PH. But I don't think he's actually behind. I think he's actually on the right track. If it's in pod, he's closer to pod than WindFox is.
Yeah, I was gonna say WindFox might be feeling behind.
WindFox has done more checks. So this could be a temporary lead for PH. Bombo's medallion is not what you want to see. Because that puts Ice Palace in logic without the glove.
it'll look like PH will go ahead and do the hovers now because this is something that he does know how to do.
Yeah, but it's also really easy to just bleed time on these. It looks like he's got it though. I just needed a little warm up. It almost hovered too far. Wow, nice sword.
a little bit more bang for your buck there, which
I 100% would have clipped that if he had hovered off the other edge.
That would have been an amazing clip, honestly.
Even more funny if he like coyote timed off the edge and then like turned around and hovered back.
That would have been the most amazing clip that I've ever seen in my entire life. So you get Gold Sword out of it and Bombos.
The Bombos is in logic. The Gold Sword is nice. I bet he would have liked to have that earlier. He would have felt so good if that was his first sword.
Yeah, if that was PH's first sword, that would have been incredible for him. So,
but this is very much a excuse to do pod, or rather, pod is an excuse to do Hookshot Cave. I think Orange might be teaching him how to get to pod. This clip is about to be obsolete when we get into HMG because getting to pod is very different in HMG, and it's a lot easier. You don't really have to think about it. It's yet another save and quit to the mountain.
Okay, so granted, I've never done this particular clip.
To down teleport on the first bump, and it puts you here.
Oh, okay. So that's actually very nice because actually it's a very nice spot because you don't have to worry about the one where you could, if you go down the wrong path, you get soft locked.
Yeah, or if you don't tap left after going down the path. Well, it's also just closer to Catfish. It's better.
Right. I have to integrate that more in my runs.
It's like the most overworld glitches specific clip, just because you only do it in overworld glitches. You don't really do it in HMG or no logic. And you're definitely not doing it in no glitches if you want to, have a valid game.
Yes. As I always say, all runs are valid except for the ones you use glitches in no glitch modes.
Alright, WindFox, going to different direction here. So WindFox hasn't done the in-logic checks in GT yet, so this makes a little bit more sense for him to do than for PH. I think he's also getting some mentoring. Maybe he's never done this without hookshot. Or just getting a little reminder. That was also, didn't clip in deep enough, so got the yeet instead of the clip. You really do have to clip in all the way until it stops you. That was about, partial.
Okay, that explains it because, I know it used to be, I thought it was a sub-pixel related thing, but it's not.
Okay, it's either you're not in far enough or you have bounced up or down a pixel. Both of those can cause that.
Right.
Back to GT for WindFox. So if it is ice, that would be very interesting because PH is the only person who can even do ice. And if a glove turns up in pod, then PH is golden. He can just start doing ice completely do it. He's a very skilled NMG runner, so IPPJ is no barrier to him.
It looked like WindFox just got kicked out of didn't buffer the input, so got spit out.
That can also happen if you're just doing the wrong diagonal.
That too.
Wow.
Yeah.
PH is going to Helmosaur, which is something you'd normally do when you're not in Pendant Pod. If you're in Crystal Pod, it makes sense to do the Crystal first. But I don't know. It's an interesting decision because he's definitely full clearing the whole thing. He can even find hookshot here. He probably won't leave because getting back here is so awful. One thing that WindFox is doing here by going to GT, even though it's out of logic, it's very important for him to find out if the cane is required in this seed. And GT can be cane locked, so he'll get some valuable information out of this play, even if he doesn't find any items.
Now, knowing WindFox, I know this isn't that big of a deal, even though yes, it is out of logic for him because he knows how to do this. His pseudo boots cross keys thing, or just cross keys in general.
Yeah, this is a pretty standard cross keys play, sequence breaking the density in GT. Because once you're in here, you usually don't want to have to come back to it. You want to just go in and get the items and leave.
Right, because WindFox is the pendant that does the pseudo boost cross keys games.
But the calculus is a little different in glitch modes because you're also getting the big key. So you're still making progress by doing this, even if it's out of logic. The only time you're not making progress is after you get the big key. And wow, that is an ice rod on pendant Helmosaur. So just in case we need to do pendant Trinex, at least we have that.
That's kind of bad.
I hate to see it.
Yeah, I was only mentioning that just because it's, well, they sort one over. Oh, wow. Okay.
Well, there's
adding...
finding out GT is cane locked, and then there's just straight up finding the cane. I wonder if we'll be seeing that fire lock side bomb jump.
Adding more fuel to the fire about this Turtle Rock, even though it is still out of logic with no hook shot.
Wait, why do we need the hook? Oh, to get that, yes.
Yeah.
And the ice rod doesn't really do anything until we also find the fire rod. But that being behind the hookshot does matter, because hookshot is one of the go mode items for the runners. And there aren't that many others. The hookshot's just here in Pendant Pod, though.
Speaking of which...
So that cane is in logic for PH, he just doesn't know it yet. And so is all of... Oh, he needs the mirror for Swamp. It's okay, next week we won't need the mirror. So I have to assume PH just goes to GT with that hook shot. It's the only thing it does for him right now. Ooh, he counted items. Good job. Apparently there's like a map or compass in the big chest.
Yeah, and I think this makes sense for PH just to go to the TR or the GT at this point.
Oh, so WindFox has the big key, but doesn't have the hook shot. What do we know about WindFox's ability to hover or Moldorm bounce?
I know WindFox isn't a hoverer. Of the farm friends, I know Tabby Cat is.
Yeah, well, WindFox is the one playing here, and it looks like he's going to climb anyway. Maybe he Moldorm bounces. But Moldorm bounce is a little risky, because even if you do make it, it's impossible to Moldorm bounce and get the item. So if, for instance, a glove or fire rod is there, you're leaving it behind forever. It's your last location.
Yeah, my hunch is that I think, or no, maybe I'm getting it mixed up. I think WindFox can hover.
Okay, this player makes a lot more sense if you can hover. I'm saying this as a Moldorm bouncer myself. I would not be climbing GT right now. I would do Tile Room first, although I think Tile Room is a key. I would probably also be doing the right side. I don't know.
Yeah, emphasis
or
on
just leave.
I think. Yeah, because I'm pretty sure he can, but at the same time.
Well, we're about to find out.
Yeah.
We'll just sit back and enjoy the show and see what happens.
Yeah, I think what it is that maybe WindFox wants to get the 3 items but then you leave out Moldorm 2.
I don't think hookshot can be up here.
No.
I don't think the key logic allows it. I mean, the big key was hookshot locked.
No, it can't be. Knowing where Samaria is at?
Well, it's not even Samaria. I think the big key is hookshot locked. It's possible to not have Samaria, but have enough small keys to climb. You know, the 3 that no glitch that the VT randomizer requires can just be in the front. But I don't think they were. Alright, PH about to get his bad news. I'm sure he's very happy to see that. At least if he does end up going into gloveless eyes, he'll have the cane.
Yeah, and that will at least eliminate that situation.
I mean, it's still gloveless eyes. Let's be quite honest.
It's gloveless eyes, and that AK, it's still not good.
Gloveless ice is worse than hammerless ice, because at least with hammerless ice, there's only one hammer in the game. But with gloveless ice, you always hope that you'll find a glove somewhere. You're a lot more inclined to sequence break stuff and go to other places before you do that. I know Orange has a pretty strong grasp of GT logic, or just logic in general. So maybe Orange will be able to tell PH whether tile room is a key or not. My hunch is that when you come out of here with 2 keys, tile room is usually a key, but I don't know how certain I am of that.
Whoops.
Oh, he's having a little bit of trouble with this room.
Yeah, so that second attempt that PH fell on.
Oh.
He bonked off of, I think he like clinked off or bonked off of the
mini helmet.
Mini helmet, yeah, and fell.
And WindFox is also struggling a little bit with the no fire rod version of this. Maybe just forgot he didn't have the fire rod. Oh, he needs to. Okay. That was very steady. I thought he was gonna fall there. Of course PH will climb, because he has the hook shot. That's a no-brainer.
Yeah, I think, okay, he's got plenty, he got some time there.
The cool thing about PH climbing is he hasn't actually done Pyramid yet, so he could do Pyramid into hammer pegs. And if he finds anything on the way, he can also hook shot out into Village of Outcasts, anything that he left behind there, which I don't think there really is anything, but... For example, the mirror would let him do Sick Kid. Magic that. Oh, he's going for tile room. He opened the middle door. Well, now if tile room's a key, he kind of needs it.
So, okay, so this is WindFox doing it. So this is, I believe, yeah, I figured as much. He has confidence in the hover. Okay, that's what I thought.
You don't do this if you can't hover. It's too risky.
Right, yeah.
Leaving the item behind. Because you mold or imbalanced. Like, you only do this if you're in hookshot go mode or in go mode. Or if you just will, or if you're just a mad lad. Some people are just mad and will just go for it and say, if it's here, I lost. Those people win more races than me, and they also lose more races than me. Oh, there's a glove in tile room. WindFox isn't gonna see that.
No. No, he won't.
PH is, needs a key. There must be a key upstairs, right? Because there can't be a key on the right side. But PH is playing for the mirror being here. It's the only thing here that he needs that can be here.
Yeah, so far WindFox is having trouble just getting the hover started. But here's another attempt at it, and
yeah,
there we go.
Now, just because there's a glove in tile room doesn't mean that WindFox is screwed, because there are 2 gloves, and you only need 1 to do Ice Palace.
The one part about this bomb jump that I kind of love, just actually be able to just...
No!
Like, you can spin clip just... Oh, wow.
No, dude. That was so good, and then suddenly it just dropped off the edge. It was just, all it took was just missing the torch with the lamp, because the lamp hitbox is impossible.
Yeah, the lamp's hitbox is just so small. It's just so ridiculous how they made it that small.
Yeah, the hardest part of this is actually not getting the bomb jump. It's apparently it's lighting the torch, but it's also lighting these torches with enough speed to actually make it to the door on time. This looks like good movement, though. I think we'll make it. Very good.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I do think this is still anyone's game, but PH definitely has a lead for having gone to Pendant Pod. But I think WindFox is going to go there now, because that's what you do after here. You go to Pendant Pod. He didn't find anything that makes him want to do anything else. Like the Cane of Samaria that he found is hookshot locked. So he knows it's not going to lead to his hookshot. There's a glove here too.
Oh,
No.
Oh no, that's worse.
Hookshot's in Pod. Both gloves are in GT in the part that WindFox didn't do, including Tile Room. So WindFox needs to find a fire rod and then come back here. I think this is actually PH's game to lose. I mean, I know it's a little early to say that when neither runner's in go mode, but it's really hard for WindFox to get back here.
Yeah, and that's what this is really bad for WindFox, because you're hoping that a glove would, if you were WindFox, you were hoping for a glove to just be somewhere else, but that's not the case.
The WindFox, the thing is that the mitts for PH didn't really do anything. They're out of logic. He's not going to follow them. But they told us a lot about the state of the race. This is pretty dire for WindFox. And that is true. Fire Rod could still be a nightmare. But at least it's not the Smith. It's the one place we know it's not going to be. I love PH just staring down that Mimic with the mirror shield. Shield haters can look at that and quail. Speaking of shield haters, WindFox and Flipheel are about to find one here in Pod.
Alright, so PH will go ahead and climb. Of course, you have the hook shot here. It's just a no-brainer move.
Yeah, PH. Actually, what Glove did for PH is he doesn't have to do the flipper wrap. You can just go to ice from Link's house. It's gonna be super easy. Probably saves him a ton of time, but I don't think it saves him enough time to make up for doing right side GT. Unless he just straight up doesn't know the flipper wrap, because learning that on the fly in a race is pretty scary. It's a complicated clip. It's not hard, it's just complicated. It's a lot to learn. What will WindFox do with the hookshot? I guess hookshot cave. Which will get Bombos. Okay, clearly I don't know something, because both runners elected to go to Helmasaur first. I don't quite understand the reasoning for doing Helmasaur first when it's dependent.
Yeah, I don't know myself. It might just be a routing decision that it just in case pedestal. I don't know. I can't really think of a good reason for it.
WindFox and PH are the same thing here. They forgot that they need to light the torches in a different way because of the lack of fire rod. This is something people don't get a lot of practice in, especially if they're NMG runners. It's not even just a rando thing. It's like a specific modes rando thing. Or it's an any % RNG legacy speedrun. It's not even in the current route.
So, after this, what do they do now?
Well, I mean, PH will check the ledge. He hasn't done it yet. I'll probably check Hammer Pigs. And then save and quit and go to ice. WindFox has several options that are all terrible, but they could lead to the Fire Rod. For example, Turtle Rock is pretty dense. And if you're looking for a Fire Rod, you can pretty safely orphan the Fire Lock chest, but the mirror is also at large, so that could be a problem. And of course, WindFox doesn't know where the gloves are, so those are also potentially problematic for him.
Okay, so WindFox will head back, will head towards the back of pod. This will result in a hook shot.
I think if I was WindFox, I would do Hookshot Cave into TR.
Yeah, you have your Samaria at this point.
WindFox even opened the front of TR. I'm not sure
He did.
how good that is, but like if the mirror turns up, you could walk out and do Mimic Cave.
Yeah,
Oh, nice triple.
It will at least get you the one item or two, and then you can just you clip down into hookshot. And you clip down either to the bait chest or you don't have mirror mirrors, so you can't mirror wrap. So it's either front of TR or the bait chest starting point. Well, you do have mirror shield too, so that you can even go do the left exit.
PH is in the light world. What's he doing here? Oh, he's going to ice, of course. I didn't even realize PH had death warped in GT, but of course he did, because how else did he get out of the right side? This is a great route. It doesn't do Hammer Pigs, but it gets you to ice without having to save and quit.
That's a smart call. That's a smart play. That I think that was. I would imagine that would have spurred on my orange.
Yeah, I like to give the runners some credit sometimes. Maybe PH thought of it. I didn't think of it. I didn't know he was in fake Dark World though.
Yeah, PH making that decision is pretty cool, because like I wouldn't have thought to do this. Like, just plain and simple, I would never thought, I wouldn't even think to do that play.
I think what I would have done is I would have left the pyramid screen to do the clip to Hammer Pigs, seen my world change, and then be like, oh, oops, I guess I'm not going there. So, WindFox running into a little situation. Still doesn't have a glove. Still has to do Hookshot Cave from the back door. Oh no. That was also too low, wasn't it? That's the landing spot for being too low. Sword at Hook Speed is helpful.
Okay, so WindFox will retry this. Okay, it's got the good spot for the spin, well, the fun little stair spin. So pH will do iced tea. Or no, wait, pH did iced tea. What am I saying? I missed it. Looks like... Okay, yeah. WindFox got it this time.
Now just has to walk in. pH is almost in cold stare, but didn't find anything here.
Yeah, nothing to know other than the crystal. At least present.
Yeah, it could. I mean, it could still just be TR. TR is a little more likely to have it. Just more items.
Right. Yeah.
Although more of them are fire rod locks, so it's not entirely... What was that bomb? I disagree.
I hate that so much.
Imagine doing that and it's your last bomb.
That would just be heartbreaking for that, like, for the game just to bonk the bomb and just deny you access into Hookshot Cave.
The WindFox will just now get access to Ice Palace, which we know is empty, and for WindFox is going to be even worse because they'll have to double dip it if they choose to go in.
Here's a fun thing. We have Pyramid Fairy. And we don't have Mirror, so we have to do it the normal way.
Well, you can clip with Swim Clip it.
True!
That's the normal way now.
True!
Red crystals, you can actually do any seed without red crystals now. It's so good. PH hasn't actually done Lamo yet, though, so it kind of makes sense to do Bombo's tablet into Lamo. And Checkerboard Cave, we haven't seen that yet. Fourth bump is not the answer, PH. That's going to soft walk. He's going to soft walk on that bump.
Does PH know how to do Tam Swam?
He learned it for the speed run. He knows how to get to Ice Rod Cave.
Okay, then that checks out.
And if he knows that, he can at least get enough information from Orange to do the Pyramid Swim. So WindFox came here and found nothing. I think he came in from the middle, though. Not in No Moon Pearl. I don't know if you can do Pyramid at all. I guess you can. I didn't have to plan to anything onto it. I actually don't know if you can do that without Moon Pearl.
Oh.
That's a fun screen. PH, please don't do this again. PH, save and quit. For the love of God.
Wait.
This is how he hardlocked earlier.
He recovered from it.
He did. I mean, I think, you know, he didn't actually make any progress. He just checked Bombo's tablet. This is not a spin speed clip. Or if it is, you gotta do it at the top of the sword out. What is that sprite for WindFox? It looks like the thief from the Dark World.
I'm pretty sure that is a thief, I think. I mean, let me get a clip of it, just double check.
If Fire Rod is behind the glove, that's just Big Rip. And it is. Okay, they still need Mirror, but this is really tough for WindFox. Because now he has to go back to GT just for Tile Room. He might not even know that Tile Room isn't a key. Like, I thought it was a key. Because I play fast and loose with key logic in GT.
That is definitely the thief from Thieves Town, from WindFox's side. I never even noticed it. I know WindFox uses a custom sprite, but that's it. Alright, where to now for WindFox? This is back to GT.
Oh, he's going back. Oh, this is really good.
Yeah, this is great for WindFox.
I didn't expect this, but this is exactly what he needs to get back in this race. It's a little bit hard to catch up on the progress that PH has made. The PH is apparently taking the NMG route into desert, having a little bit of trouble with the clips.
Yeah, I do think WindFox might feel behind after getting these two gloves.
If WindFox beelines to Checkerboard Cave for some reason, he's fine. He's not going to. He's going to do ice. Because that's the sensible thing to do. And then he'll maybe do Checkerboard Cave afterward. Gosh, if there's something in Spike Cave, both runners are going to have a hard time getting there. Really hard to come back to Spike Cave when you full clear GT.
Yeah, that ends up being a last location.
That could be a big equalizer for WindFox. Because PH hasn't done TR yet, and you definitely do TR first. Alright, you got the glove. You gonna keep going? You do need the mirror. Definitely a fair decision to either go forward or turn away from that one. It will save him time. Unless the mirror is on the smith.
Yeah, and that's the case then. Ooh, wow. That's some logic. What the heck?
His seat's pretty bad.
This is pretty bad, yeah.
Now PH will do Skullwoods. Probably. I think Skullwoods is an end terminal play, because you just do it. You're in the back of Skull. You're not going to walk out and do Smith Chain. It's probably faster to just get there from the front. Yeah, WindFox has to flip a wrap because he doesn't have the mitts. Looks like he knows how. It's just a matter of getting the teleports.
My favorite way to get into Ice Palace.
Yeah, you love this. It's very hard lockable.
It is very hard lockable. I mean, I got hard locked from a Phantom Diagonal when I was using an 8-bit dough. That cost me the race as a result.
Well, the good thing about that is if you do get a bad transition, as long as you know what to expect, as long as you just save and quit after the transition, you're fine. You're not going to hard lock in this step. So as long as you know what can cause the hard lock. It's usually people who just don't know the inputs after the transition that get hard locked. Oh, maybe WindFox doesn't know how to do it. This looks like live mentoring to me.
Yeah, this seems like WindFox is trying to learn this on the fly here. So
PH got a cheeky little Graveyard Legend to King's Tomb Sphere 1 clean up on the way to activating the flute, which I'm guessing is an insurance against Mitsless Smith, or Mirrorless Smith, rather. And cleaning up the magic bat that's been available forever. And Sick Kid. Yeah, this is why I was debating whether PH saved time getting the mitts. Both doing this clip and also doing the Fire Rodless GT take a lot of time, so it's hard to know whether it was worth it. PH probably considers it worth it now just because, you know, he doesn't have to go back. It's in logic now.
This is going to be a ped read from PH.
Ped is alive. Makes sense. It's nothing though.
Yeah, it's just boring. Like it usually is.
Alright, WindFox is safe. Nothing you can do now that will hardlock him. He just has to find the entrance of Ice Palace from inside this little courtyard. There it is. If you get lost enough, eventually the game will take pity on you and actually show you where it is.
So there's PH getting the red meal. Where could his mirror be now?
It can be in the Smith.
Yeah, and that would be bad for WindFox.
Did we see both items in Meyer?
I
think we either saw 2 items or we saw 1 item in Map and Compass.
I believe
I think we saw all the keys.
We saw the keys, I think. And I think we may have seen at least one of them, but I don't know if we've seen the other.
Oh, we did. Both Firelock chests are items. So Meyer's dead. At least for PH.
Then that checks out.
The PH will just do Skullwoods. It could just be here. We only saw one thing in Skull. The mushroom. I really hope it's not Spike Cave. Spike Cave is so terrible.
Yeah, but I think that might be the one out that WindFox has.
Yeah, Spike Cave is what WindFox wants it to be. It's not what I want it to be, though.
That
just makes everyone feels bad. Nobody has a good time.
It's not where I want to be either. Like, from a runner standpoint, that's just terrible. It's just, and for WindFox to stay in this, it has to be Spike.
Oh, I didn't realize PH had one and done this. Good job. I like that. Because he didn't do the middle, at least. Maybe he did all of the front? Wow. 10 out of 10 moth. No spikes.
Very well. That was a very nice moth.
That was an NMG runner's moth for sure.
Yeah, the dream moth.
Just flawlessly done. Like, you also need a little bit of moth cooperation to get 0 spikes, but you also have to do your part. You have to get the double poke dash and land all your hits. Apparently the item's just back here. I thought it was on Moth, but I wasn't counting keys. It's not here. See, I don't think we saw Laser Bridge from WindFox.
Oh.
He must have decided it was Fire Rod locked. But PH has the Fire Rod, so he can do Laser Bridge. The question is, does he know how to get there directly, or is he going to come in from the middle? Because the clip to laser bridge is not something we teach immediately. I mean, you can learn whatever you want, but the out of logic no mirror laser bridge is pretty low priority.
I think it's sensible to just go from the middle if this is PH's plan to go into Turtle Rock. Alright, so WindFox will now have a gold sword. Alright, so I think this might be PH's plan to go into Turtle Rock.
WindFox looks like he's on the right track. Excellent. So WindFox is going to get the fire rod. Still lagging behind PH a little bit. But WindFox has already done more of TR, so the lead is not as big as it looks. I think when PH also didn't mean to jump off the mountain there.
Yeah, so this is still anyone's game at this point.
And what'll happen is I don't think WindFox will actually go to TR with the fire rod because he's already done the front. He'll probably do Smith Chain. Oh, he can't do Smith Chain. Oh, if it's Smith Chain, that's terrible. He might actually go back to GT. If he goes back to GT, that's how you do Spike Cave in this seed. By not sequence breaking the right side. But this doesn't look like a Spike Cave play. This looks like going to... Well, this is going to Moth.
We'll see what this results, though.
Oh, Spike Cave into Moth. That's a thing you can do.
Okay.
The PA shouldn't do because he had the mitts, but if you don't have the mitts, this is how you get to Moth, so you might as well do Spike Cave on the way. Or you could just be going back to GT. Although he fixed his camera, so...
Yeah. I agree with this, really.
Oh.
It's nothing.
That was his out.
So, So, what? Laser Bridge Turtle Rock?
And he wasn't doing it into anything. He just saved and quit. Maybe he thinks ped check and flute activation, like PH did. And PH had a little more incentive to go that way because of the other light world checks he hadn't done. Like, there were a ton. There was all that Graveyard Lich King's Tomb and the fetch quest in Kakariko. It's really hard to imagine a world where this is a close race, one way or another, because they're all diverging so much. One of them is just going to hit the mirror first.
Right, and yeah, it's really hard to say.
I mean, I still give the lead to PH just because he's done more.
Yeah.
It's a little more likely that he's going to hit the mirror first, but could still happen to WindFox. I think WindFox will have to get to GT and clear out the right side, get the mitts, and then do Smith Chain before PH does. There isn't really that much WindFox can do that PH isn't just going to do first.
Yeah, but when will WindFox even go back to GT?
Probably after Skull, because there isn't anything else to do.
Yeah,
except for TR.
You would have to in WindFox's case, you would have to last locate really hard that mitts. So in just a bit, WindFox will be right on PH's tail with the crystal count, but even then, it's still kind of behind.
pH is wildly ahead on checks. It's kind of hard for WindFox to do anything that pH isn't going to be at first. Like this big chest. Oh yeah, so this was a fire rod locked TR, which is why WindFox left. So pH will do a whole lot much more of TR than WindFox is able to do, and the mirror could just be here. But even if it's the Smith, I still think pH will get there first. Yeah, I think Myra doesn't have any items in it checks. I think we already got both.
It's just that pH has done more stuff than WindFox. He was ahead on the checks.
Ugh, that was close. WindFox almost gets the same RNG on this moth fight. But doesn't do the double poke dash opener, so doesn't get the flawless 0 spike. Still a good fight though. Definitely had it under control the whole time.
Yeah, good fights from both runners. PH will head over to Laser Bridge in just a bit. It also includes Crystal Roller. Meanwhile, WindFox, I think now...
What if this is TR?
If it's TR, then,
If WindFox knows Mirrorless Laser Bridge, okay, it's not TR. But that could have been close. It could have been close if WindFox did Mirrorless Laser Bridge while PH was here and it was the mirror. Oh no, don't give us that.
Oh, really?
Okay, so there's one more check in the screen pendant. Yeah, that was a key. It's hard to count keys when you're doing unconventional TR routing, though. Like, I didn't know that was a key. Oh, and Fox is on the Smith path.
This might be the one idea he might just, once he gets at those meds, he might be thinking to go.
Assuming he does follow them, which would be the kind of strategically correct play. This could still be close, because PH will turn in the green pendant and then do Smith Chain, whereas WindFox can go straight there. Also, PH might do Hammer Pigs before turning in the Smith. PH hasn't done that yet, but WindFox has.
Very clean 0 cycle Trimax fight. And is rewarded with the silver arrows.
Guess those had to be somewhere. Peach is going back in? No, you can't go back in. I mean, there's nothing to do there. He wants to go out, but I'm not sure why. There's nothing to do out there. Oh no, WindFox is doing TR. Ah, this could have been close.
Yeah. Now, if this is for the this is for
green pendant and shovel.
Green pendant shovel, yeah. Then it could. Well, even then, pH is still ahead.
Yeah, pH is the only way pH wasn't ahead is if WindFox did the smith right away, while pH was doing this turn in. That could have been very exciting. The cape. Oh, this is not the best way in. I think he has to go in. Oh, this is the best way. He has to go in this way. The problem is he doesn't have a good way out. So he'll either be walking out or saving and quitting and doing the clip again. It's partly why TR was kind of a bad choice. Not necessarily a bad decision, just like an unappealing choice. Oh no. It is the Smith
Wow.
turn. Is there anything else?
It's Smith, yeah. This would have resulted in WindFox with a lead if
So this was a double dip GT. You had to go in and get your glove or sequence break the right side. Because the fire rod was behind the glove in tile room.
Yeah, and there really isn't anything left. Really, this is now very much solidly pH's race at this point.
Yeah, this is where having a checks advantage comes in. You just get to everything faster. Where's WindFox going? Oh right, he has to do the rest of TR. I mean, GT is kind of like the dungeon you double dip because of how many different things it requires to do different parts of it. And how easy it is to justify going in early to get density.
No, if we were already in next week, we wouldn't be in this. We wouldn't be talking about the mirror.
This is a really good case for learning HMG. Next week, we're going to teach you how to skip the mirror for swamp. You would have been in go mode at Fire Rod.
Yep. And it looks like it's on purple chest.
I guess you'd turn in the smith first and then do hammer pegs. Because you're not near hammer pegs when you pick up the smith. This is actual literal last location.
Yeah, they're this is a.
This isn't like haha bad C last location. This is actually last location. There's nothing left.
Yeah, this is your absolute final check.
We get to go mode swamp.
That is at least a nice little thing to kind of wrap it up. But even then, it just kind of feels bad.
We don't have a blue potion, do we? What are you doing, PH? There's only one way to get the purple chest out of this world.
Yeah, he wishes he had the mirror for this.
Oh, if he had the mirror, he wouldn't be doing this at all.
Yeah, he wouldn't be doing this if he had a mirror. WindFox will take down Shrine X, will result in silver arrows and green pendants.
Oh,
it's a
are we wrong?
Wait.
What are we missing? PH seems to know. Oh, it's purple. It's Pyramid Fairy.
Oh, Pyramid. Oh,
I just Pyramid Fairy is so free. I just assume we did it, but we didn't do it. I saw people looking like they were about to, and then end up doing something else, like twice. So I just had it in my head that it was done.
So
Yeah, it's a big bomb play. This is a know your swim clip seed. Oh no.
this is
What happens if you get this early? You get this early and you go in and you see the mirror. You just say, well, do you even think about... I mean, Swamp could have had the fire rod in the seed.
that's just tough. Like if you either do this normally or you just do your or do the swim clip if you know how to do it.
Yeah, that was a good bomb dupe from PH. Don't ask me how to do that.
I will never do it. I'm sorry. I'd rather just do do the hooks to get the dashes.
Alright, it's here.
Oh, this is.
Not even a blue potion to do fancy fake flutes. Alright.
And
actual last location for realsies this time.
This is straight up like 100% last location.
Yeah, it was actually the second chest. It's very true.
In case you didn't know, it's about 2 hours, 5 minutes, and like some odd seconds. That's go mode for PH.
WindFox is doing the Smith, which makes sense. But it sucks.
Yeah, it's just too little too late at this point. That's one half of the Smith chain done. WindFox is floating away to 3. Okay. A little quicker.
This is just more of the Smith chain.
Yeah. You're
not going to do...
mine is just Smith chain.
You're not doing half of the Smith chain. That would be silly.
Yeah, you're not. You wouldn't. You're already committed to this play anyway.
I mean, you do that if you're like doing it on the way near the mirror and you're just dropping off the Smith on the way to Hype Cave, but you don't do it when it's like your last location.
No, yeah. It's just makes more sense to just do the entire thing at this late in the game.
Also, you might be thinking, gosh, if my opponent knew swim clipping, the seed would be over already. So it can't be Pyramid Fairy, right?
Right. That's just unfortunately the way that the cookie crumbled there. Alright, so WindFox will go ahead and flute the 4 now.
I think this is the first time I've seen Big Bomb in the overall Glitch Mentor tournament.
I haven't caught up with it that much, but that is definitely a very rare spike, especially now. Alright, so that's a Arcus kill for PH, and just you gotta go to Ganon now.
Alright, 209.49. WindFox is in go mode.
Yes, and just as ph is about to make his way over to GT, Ganon rather.
This has got to be a high 180s seed. At least. Maybe even 190s.
Yeah, it can't really be around 200 just because of the amount of chests that we got.
It's pretty rare for it to be above 200 just because you have to open all the dungeon items and pick up plain sight items that you might not otherwise pick up, but it could still happen.
It can happen.
Like they didn't get the Zora Ledge item, for example, or Pyramid Fairy, or not Pyramid Fairy. They did that.
Bonk Rocks for PH.
Bonk Rocks.
Bonk Rocks for PH. He skipped that.
He skipped Bonk Rocks?
No, he did do Bonk Rocks. He saw the item but didn't go for it.
Bonk Rocks is a chest.
Oh, I meant hammer pigs. That's
hammer
what
pigs. Okay.
This has been a long seed, so excuse me.
Understandable. I forgot Pyramid Fairy existed. Ooh, nice phase 4 for PH.
Very
that
clean.
Is GG at 211 something.
Yeah. Virtual race time.gt time is going to be coming up in just a bit, so yeah, GG's out in the chat for PH. We'll be finishing this race out with an official race time.gt time of 2 hours, 11 minutes, and 43 seconds.
And WindFox is close enough to finishing that it would be unwise to quit now because we do rank Swiss based on not just on record but also on time difference up to 15 minutes. And WindFox is easily less than 15 minutes away from finishing.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, especially you are like you were essentially for WindFox he was like a one dungeon like a dungeon behind, so doing it now with just forfeiting here would be wouldn't be good, as you mentioned. Alright, so WindFox will go ahead and do this Argus now.
That Moon Pearl and Zora is reminding me that this seed has been bad the entire time. This is not one of those, like, oh, this seed could be nice. This seed was terrible all the way through. There was no good moment.
Right.
There were moments of temporary relief, and that's it.
Yeah, and the Zora, the Moon Pearl on Zora is one thing, but like everything else, that's just a whole other thing. And like that. To top it all off with a mirror inside Pyramid Fairy, it's basically just a check to see if you can handle swim clips.
Even if you can swim clip, like I think the glove in GT was pretty bad.
Yeah,
and the fire rod behind it. So you're heavily incentive. This is basically Krellball's chest, like fire rod on tile room, just with extra steps.
Oh, yeah, I remember that moment. Alright, dropping into Ganon now for WindFox. This, I mean, I didn't have to mention this for PH, but this is the gold sword silver's fight. This is just ridiculously easy.
It's easy, and then you can still fall, like especially with the silver's fight.
It's easy until you fall, and then like, oh come on, really?
It usually comes when you're just trying to go really fast with the silvers, getting fancy triples. At this point, you just take it easy, go for doubles.
Yeah, take any double you can. That's a triple. We missed. But there we go. Alright, GG's out for WindFox. And at last we can put this seed to bed. Ooh. Good grief. WindFox will be finishing with an official race time, that GG time of 2:16:07.
2:16 is a very appropriate time for a seed like this.
Yeah.
This is a 2:16 seed if I ever saw one.
This is straight up a 2:16 seed. Yeah, like if this is a seed where pressing like holding X is what you want to do, that's totally deserved.
PH just called us a horror show in chat.
Oh. Yeah, it.
We are joined by WindFox. GG.
GG.
My apologies.
I mean, PH rolled it.
PH rolled it. Yeah, PH, this is your fault. The seed was bad from start to finish.
I will warn everyone right now. When we were prepping, Orange and I were chatting, and I said, I am here to clown, and apparently that extended to the seed, so I'm sorry.
Oh. But you took the win out of me, that's for sure.
Yeah, you ever just get like secondhand exhaustion from a seed?
How about first-hand exhaustion?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
So what was your favorite part? Was it the Moon Pearl and Zora, the required tile room for Fire Rod? Or the oops, we forgot about Pyramid Fairy?
Ugh.
My opponent could have swim clipped that. And surely it's not there, because if it was there, they would have finished by now.
Well, I literally there. I don't know, WindFox, if you had it, but we had like a long stretch of our, like part of the whole like, oh okay, well let's do TR, because I feel like at this point the most likely thing is, so we finished Helma and got an ice rod for our trouble, and I was like, what are the odds that it's on like Trinex at this point, or maybe Green Pendant, because WindFox isn't done. It has to be something super trolling.
So what was your good one? Was it the mirror as well?
Yeah, it was the mirror.
Okay, so I'm gonna say, after I finished Ice Palace, before we found the Fire Rod, we had the glove at this point. We're like, all right, let's do Checkerboard Cave. And I was like, hey, after Checkerboard Cave, let's do Big Ball. And Flip was like, no, it's not logic. I'm just like, but we have both 5/6s. So I'm like, let's just get it done. Like, just clown it.
You have the
and
flippers.
Maybe the mirrors. Okay, so this is the discussion that me, Flip, and like Beer have had. If you have just flippers, is Ice Palace in logic?
Yes.
With no gloves, it is in logic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ice Palaces, but so Orange was saying that logically, the Pyramid Fairy is not, because the swim clip is not considered logical.
No, it's not the swim clip. It's the big bomb is in logic, because
the
flipper wrapped to Ice Palace is logical.
Yeah.
Okay, so I will have to tell Flip that the way we got into Ice Palace was the swim was the way we did it. Is in logic. Okay.
Yeah, it
Good to know.
sucks. We all want it out, but there haven't been updates to the logic in like 3 years, so it's just we're stuck with it. I think the last time glitch logic was updated was when that was added.
Like,
yeah.
it's such a pain in the ass to set up. And
Yeah. A swim clip to pyramid is easy. I would recommend learning that next.
I mean, we have HMG next, and let me tell you, I have literally the only thing I know how to do in HMG is the bomb clip in the Ice Palace.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
it.
Oh, you should at least learn Kiki Skip, and you have to learn Swamp. That one's pretty much required in every seed. But, you know, you got a week to learn it, so good luck. If you need help, feel free to just, post in the Discord saying, hey, I need help learning. You can always hop into a chat with Mentor.
Let me tell you how I leave for vacation tomorrow.
Oh.
And I'm bringing my entire setup with me.
Oh, that's going to be fun. Well, there's a document guide you can read that says how to do Swamp and a whole bunch of other stuff. You can study that on your own.
Yep.
Watch my tutorial over and over again if you have to.
The tutorials are great. So, Momo has probably seen it, but I started doing RMG runs, which correct me if I'm wrong. A lot of the same clips are the HMG there's a lot of overlap. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the video and image tutorials are terrific. They are very, very, very well done. Very easy to learn off of.
That's one of the reasons why I joined this tournament was once I get my sub 90 in NMG, I want to learn RMG.
Oh, you should. It's so fun. I want to start up the RMG club again, where we all learn it together. Because there's some RMG categories I want to pick up too.
Let's do it. Memo said it. RMG club.
RMG club.
RMG club.
We're bringing it back. All right. Well, that's all for tonight. I'm probably not going to do another one because that was a lot.
Throw this in the fire.
Yeah. Goodbye.
Yeah. That's it from us.
Right click, delete.
GG's again, Momo, Professor Renderer. Thank you both so much for this stream, and huge thanks to Orange and Flip.
Yeah, ditto what PH said. Thanks to the two of you for comms, and Malmo obviously for the restream. Flip and Orange for mentoring this race.
Lots of people have to come together for these, but they always turn out great, even when the seed is not so great.
I'm sorry, okay?
Yeah, thanks again, GGPH. This seed was.
It's awful. GG's WindFox.
GG's.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.